Seeing clearly is not a passive act. Uh-huh. When both eyes look at the same scene, the brain works in the background to reconcile the slight differences between perspectives. You know, and that fusion creates depth. Mhm. Life and art work the same way. If you never step back, your vision becomes flat. Mhm. Stepping back restores symmetry, coherence, and truth. Mhm. Up close, details dominate. In art, this means you get lost in strokes and colors, and you forget the full composition. Mhm. In life, it means you get trapped in immediate emotions, habits, and crises, losing sight of the larger narrative. You know, the brain naturally integrates dual perspectives, but only if you give it distance. Mhm. Stepping back allows contradictions to resolve and patterns to appear. You know, what felt urgent becomes small. What felt invisible becomes obvious. The symmetry of life, that is purpose, balance, and alignment, reveals itself only when viewed from a wider frame. You know, psychologically, stepping back engages the prefrontal cortex, mhm, the part of the brain responsible for reflection, planning, and meaning making. When you're too close to a problem, the emotional brain dominates, narrowing perspectives. You know, distance breaks emotional loops and interrupts cognitive distortion. This is why clarity often arrives during a walk, during a pause, or a moment away from the situation. Mm. Because the brain finally has space to integrate both eyes. That is the emotional self and the rational self. You know, without stepping back, decisions become reactive rather than deliberate, and life loses balance. Spiritual, stepping back is the essence of awareness. It is the shift from identification to observation. When you step back, you see your life not as chaos, but as a pattern unfolding. You notice where you've been forcing, where you've been resisting, and where harmony already exists. Symmetry in the spiritual sense is not about perfection. It is about alignment between your inner truth and outer expression. You know, only distance reveals whether you are creating from intention or from unconscious habits. In short, just as the brain blends two slightly different views into depth, life requires stepping back to create clarity and balance. Too close, everything is distorted. With distance, everything becomes meaningful. You know, step back from your art, your decisions, your emotions, your routines. Check for symmetry, check for alignment. You know, depth appears only when you allow yourself perspective. My people, heal. Heal.